Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I want to talk to you today about China. We're going to talk about the contagion that is growing and growing in China, and it's a lot more than the real estate with Evergrande and I want to say pixie dust, but it's actually Fantasia. I don't know why I think about pixie dust when I think about a mouse, with a little, wand. I just think of Tinkerbell. I don't know why. Anyway, my point being is that there's a lot more going on in China than what's going on in the real estate market. And we know that that's imploding, okay? That's a fact. There's even more companies than Fantasia and Evergrande that are imploding, okay? So this is getting worse, okay? It's not getting better, it's getting worse. I don't care what the articles say. Now, that's not FUD, it's just the truth. When we know the truth, then we know that we need to do something about it. And if we don't know what to do about it today, we're gonna figure it out, right? That's what human beings do. If they got a problem in front of them, if they don't wanna be part of the problem, they figure it out, okay? But we're not talking about real estate. What we're talking about is now all these ships that are off port. And I haven't told you guys this story yet, but a great subscriber comment. And just so you know, this story that I'm gonna talk about is from another subscriber. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. You're awesome. All these ships have been sitting off port, and I think we're now at 100, okay? So it's like, it's almost worthless to go, oh, another record broke, another record broke. It's like, I just want to throw the record at someone's head. It's like, stop saying it. We get it, okay? But these ships have been sitting offshore, and there's one thing I didn't realize. A subscriber contacted me and said, hey, me and my wife went shoe shopping. We were looking for some nice shoes for her, some heels, and we went into some nice shops. One of the shops, and now I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the article in front of me and I read it like 4 days ago. Sorry, things are crazy right now. A lot of going on. But they said, the shelves are bare. They're having a hard time. And the store owner or manager said, everything we got in has mold on it. We had to throw away most of it. Mold. Because they're sitting in these containers for so long. And what's interesting is I didn't think about it, but I used to be a shoe salesman. Yes, I was an Al Bundy. And each one of those shoes come with a little package of silica. That silica is intended for while in transit, any moisture that hits that box, it's supposed to soak up, right? The facts are, though, that bag of silica is not enough to soak up the moisture of when those shoes are sitting off in the ocean. They're sweating with the extreme heat, and they're just sitting there. So it's destroying things. Now, we all knew that it was going to destroy crops. That's a given. They're taking crops and dumping them in the ocean and all kinds of horrible stuff, and which is activating insurance policies that farmers and growers pulled on these crops while they're in transit, right? Now they're all being activated. That's going to be a whole nother issue, I think, in the next 90 days. But something here is really interesting. So if you're a buyer of goods from China and you can't get any stuff, right? You're like waiting and waiting and waiting. At a certain point, you stop ordering because you've already got enough orders out. You can only pay for so much when it comes in, right? But those shop owners are also looking at the news and going, either I'm not getting my stuff or it's being destroyed out there on the ship. So they're definitely not ordering anymore. Now, here's the story, okay? This is out of the South China Morning Post. I'm going to link it in the description below. It says, China's Canton Fair wraps up, but exporters lament the lack of foreign buyers. Okay, so the Canton Fair is not like a jobs fair. It's a fair where exporters and importers come together and they look at the latest and greatest in goods that you can buy from China that China has the availability to export. Now, that is a great measurement in real time. What's going on right now with how much demand there is for foreign goods, okay? So here's just a couple bullet points, and we're gonna wrap it up with some really, what I think is the most interesting point here. The biggest concern amongst Chinese exhibitors at October's Canton Fair has been rising costs of production amid global inflation, all right? So they're feeling the heat too. Even though they have much cheaper labor than we have in the United States and all over the world, they're feeling the rising cost of materials, and it's hurting their bottom line. So they're having to raise prices. But again, remember, like I've said before, they're trying to stay competitive with all their competitors. So they're in this battle. They don't want to let out the secret sauce, how much they're charging, right? Or how much it costs them to make things or how much it costs them to get things, but they're trying their hardest to stay competitive. It's a very, very tight field right now, for lack of better terms. Another point, others, it's supposed to say, it says other, we're disappointed with the lack of foreign buyers as coronavirus-related travel restrictions continue to hamper attendance. So it's one thing, we saw this with the Silver Symposium up in Coeur d'Alene. We had a lot of people not be able to make it physically because their country said, you can't go. So they're having a hard time going, oh man, we're having a hard time even filling this show with exhibitors let alone buyers. And actually there's buyers mixed into that too, right? So there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of lack of communication going on. And then the last thing, Canton Fair participants said global inflation was the biggest risk for their business as they attend the biannual trade event in person for the first time in 3 exhibitions. My point being is this, and I close on that because it's repeating. It's all about inflation. Inflation is starting to rear its ugly head and it's choking the economy. As it chokes the economy, start to watch for things to fall. Not everything falls at once. Deflation happens a little, and then boom, all at once, all right? And I believe that that is what we're gonna see. Remember, the dollar whippet theory says, and I thought that deflation would start in the fall, which it did because it started in housing, in the hottest housing markets in the country, they started to deflate. You're gonna see the facts coming out with quarterly earnings here pretty soon that certain consumer goods, like say electronics, things like that, things that are not necessities, they're gonna start to deflate in price, okay? So the dollar whippet theory is completely standing strong. However, when people think of deflation, they think of a mass deflation, everything falling. What I wanna do is I wanna show you the little bit of deflation over here, little deflation over here, so that you see the signs and then you are prepared for the big one ahead of time. You see, most people fall off the cliff together, right? They don't all just, one goes and then the other one sees that guy goes and goes, well, that looks like a good deal. Hey, let's do that. I'm just gonna go jump off a cliff. My point is that it's very important to see these trends, and we're seeing it now. And that's why I believe it's gonna lead to a massive deflation coming into January, like I said before, especially with the uprising of these forbearance issues coming to full fruition, turning into foreclosures in the first of the year, around the first of the year. Now I know we're already seeing foreclosures, but again, those are the trickles. I'm talking about the big events, okay? So I'm pointing out the trickles to be able to get people to understand. If you guys have anyone that would like to see these videos, please share them. Please, if you have a YouTube channel and you want to share them, that'd be awesome. Thank you to all the YouTubers that have been sharing these. Thank you so much. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I so appreciate it. I appreciate all the subscribers. Guys, everyone's being unsubscribed. I know it sounds crazy, but this channel has the views for 1.4 million subscribers. That's about what it gets. The problem is there are people out there that do not want you to know the truth. That's why yesterday's video got slapped with a label on it. And if you guys can help me out, check to see if you're still subscribed. If you aren't, just hit the subscribe button again, hit a thumbs up. Thank you so much. This stuff is happening. We need to be prepared. I prepare diversified, God's money, gold and silver. I like cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. That's me. This isn't financial advice. Guys, I'm just a dude with a bro hawk and a dream. And yes, thank you, Lord, for my awesome hair. I totally love it. Even if it's the 90s hairstyle, I'm going to keep it going. It's cool. It's going to come back someday. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for everything. The Economic Ninja is out.